Hello, welcome back. We have seen these basic skills of listening. Now we will get into the types of listening, which there are 10 types of listening. Each types give us more depth of the communication. The first one is the discriminative listening, which is the first one and the basic listening. Then we have this comprehension listening. The third one we have this biased listening, which means pilih kasih bias listening. Then we have this evaluative listening. Then we have this appreciative listening, sympathetic listening, which is different than the empathic, and we also have this empathic listening. Then we have this telepathic listening, then the dialogic listening, and finally the most important listening type of listening is the relationship listening. So we will go depth into each of these 10 types of listening. This is discriminative listening. This is the most basic type of listening. Here is where the difference between the sound is identified. We learn to discriminate between the sound within our own language early and the way we're able to know the difference in the phenomena of other language. This can be also applied to emotion in a person's voice. If one cannot get the emotion, then the listener will not connect with the experience of that emotion. So the body language is another thing that the people will need to be able to tell the difference. So this actually make up the biggest portion of a message someone is trying to give. It is even louder than the words he is saying. So this is about the first type of listening, discriminative listening. The next listening is the comprehension listening. This is the next step, and it means the person need to have variety of words that he knows, and also all the rules of grammar, syntax, by which he can understand what others are saying. Comprehension often benefit from taking away the key facts and items from a long smile. So this is also known as a content listening, informative listening, and also full listening. Welcome back. Now, the third one is the biased listening. Biased listening means it's like pilih kasih. It means this is when people hear only what they want to hear. They misinterpret what others are saying based on their own stereotypes and other biases that they have. They are very selective, and this type of listeners are very like they choose to which speaker they want to listen, and such bias listening is often very evaluative in nature. Like they have this he already have made his mind about this particular speaker, he against the speaker, and the listener shows lack of respect and interest to them. So it can be where a gender bias, a relationship bias, and they are very selective. And if possible, like me, I would encourage a biased listening. If you are a teacher, better you don't do that. Next. The next one is the evaluative listening, also known as a critical listening. Evaluating listening is when people make judgments about what the other person is saying. The people judge what the others say about their values, assessing them as a good or bad, worthy or they are not unworthy for them. So normally people are trying to persuade others to change their behavior or change their beliefs in something the orthodox mind. So evaluating listening is also called as a, they could be a critical listener or judgmental, or they are also interpretive listening. Then the fifth one is appreciative listening. this is where most of the people seek information that will meet their needs and goals. So this is used when listening is to a good music, to a good poem, or maybe a speech from a great leader, and you appreciate that. Wow, that kind of listening. Then the next one is the sympathetic listening. A person listens to someone else and show concern throughout the way he pays attention and express their heart pain to their hard times and happiness in their good times. So this kind of listening, we need it when the person is emotionally affected. So this kind of listening is one of the, but not all the time you can use the sympathetic listening. You can say, okay, it's okay, bro, you can do it better, you can try your better luck next time. So that kind of a sympathetic, and maybe with a little touch and tap would be a better effect on the listening. And this, the empathic listening, it's go beyond the sympathetic listening. Here the listener goes like a truly seek for understand how others are feeling. This requires excellent discrimination and close attention to the emotional signals. If we are truly listening empathetically, we are actually feeling what they are feeling. It's like it's more into emotional influence on the listener. Not only understand the literal messages, but also we understand the feeling of the person, the emotion of the person, and the world view of the speaker. We are into their shoes. So this is what we call as empathic listening. The next one is the telepathic listening, which the listener has a purpose of not only empathizing with the speaker, but also to use a deep connection to help the speaker understand change or develop some way, develop themselves in some way. And this can either be done professionally or with the family members and those who are very close to the speaker. Next. And the next one is the dialogic listening. This is a learning through the conversation and engaged interchange of the ideas. You can interchange your ideas and informative in which we actively seek to learn more about the person and how they think. Usually they call this, this is sometimes known as relational listening. And finally, last but not least, this is the most important and the final type of listening, but the most important one, which is relationship listening. This may be the most important because it is used in develop and sustain a relationship. They listen and take advice from the people A more so that anyone else Y, even though they are saying the same thing. For example, A is saying something about a product, B is saying something about the product. Both of them are saying the same thing, but you tend to choose the person A, even though it's the same message. But why? Because you felt uh, the person A have some connection with you, they are very persuasive, and you feel that you have some interconnection emotionally with this particular person. So this is what they call as a relationship skill. Therefore, most of the salesperson use this kind of relationship, this kind of listening, because they want to gain your trust and for you to like them. So here we have complete all the 10 types of listening